Shaka! Hey everyone, it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with a bit of Pig in the Hen action, joined by Henry Hotspur for Wednesday night's live Pig in the Hen podcast on YouTube. Little bit late, sorry about that, we're a little bit late, you know, we're supposed to be like a live match companion type commentary for the Arsenal-Chelsea game here. Game's almost fucking over. But here we are, anyway, a little bit later than planned. Thank you ever so much for joining us. How are you doing then, Hen?
I'm good. No, I'm excited. We've actually got an interesting game on this evening because obviously we covered the Arsenal-Chelsea, or Chelsea-Arsenal game as it was a couple of weeks ago. But we've actually got, that was a 0-0, obviously, a bit of a very boring game, if I remember.
Guess that's
particularly boring game. But this evening, we've got stuff happening. So it's 2-1 to Arsenal at the moment. As it stands, they would go through to face Manchester City in the final for the Carabao Cup this year. So yeah, it's all guns blazing.
We've just seen a nice goal by Lacazette. Arsenal going 2-1 up in this game.
It wasn't a goal by Lacazette.
Oh, sorry,
actually.
not by Lacazette. He was key,
majorly involved,
sorry.
absolutely instrumental. Brilliant bit of play from him himself. A little bit of luck with the deflection off the leg of Christensen, I think. Who's the Arsenal player? Shaka, isn't it?
Granite.
Shaka,
Granite, who's actually not made of granite. He's made of freaking pig shit.
To poke it in.
Yeah. Everybody who's joining us live right now, thank you very much for tuning in. Do us a favour, chuck a like on this video, give it a share around social media. You know you want to.
Here we go. Here's the goal. Here's the goal that you missed earlier.
Great bit of muscling off the ball there by Lacazette.
You know, he's a brilliant player. He really is. Bit of trickery there.
He's pretty decent. I mean, he was on United's radar before Arsenal signed him, so he is a player I respect.
This is the pass in. Sorry, it wasn't a deflection of Christensen, sorry.
That's not really great play by Lacazette, though, the actual deflection. It's a wild deflection, like he's passing back. The defender's tried to intercept it, and it's deflected right to Xhaka. And Xhaka's just prodded it in.
Muscling around, you know, those types of, you know, movements create goals. Simple as that. Bit of luck and it happens. Brilliant play.
Fair play to him for getting his head up looking for the pass anyway. But, yeah, apologies. Mohammed Youssef says, Flying Pig, you lost weight. No, that's actually 100% false. That's not true at all. I actually gained weight, pal. I'm the heaviest I've ever been. I am a heavy pig right now, so... You know, and James Ralston says...
Isn't it? It's a stripy...
I think it is.
It's not a stripy shirt, though, is it?
It's got little flowers on it. It's like a James May a la Grand Tour, previously Top Gear sort of shirt. Do you know what I mean?
Is this anything to do with Leeds? Because obviously they have the flower, which looks
used to have a shower with a flower.
Very similar.
Looks very similar to this design I've got here.
Design here, and it seems like you've taken all their roses because they don't even have
They don't have them anymore.
So they're a badge.
They've just got a badge with like a masturbation sign, you know, just going like this, like we're Leeds, we're a bunch of wankers.
No, it's fucking awful, isn't it?
I know, that's basically what it is. It's like, this is the sign, what's that about? We're fucking Leeds.
Terrible. I don't know what they think of that.
But anyway, nice of you guys to say that. It's not true. And by the way, I look absolutely shocking tonight in my mind anyway, because I've just woken up from a severe nap, one which I very much needed and one that I'm very, very grouchy from. You know, so I've got bed head. I don't feel good within myself right now, you know.
Are you serious?
I don't, mate. I don't feel good, man.
Introducing.
My brain isn't working. The only reason I'm even...
Wednesday, Pig in the Hen, matchcast, and you're here talking about I don't feel myself right now. What the fuck, mate?
The only reason...
Sort your life out.
The only reason I'm talking right now is because of coffee. If not for that, then I'd still be stone cold, asleep right now, and Henry would be outside my house knocking on the door aimlessly. So, so yeah, you know, thank you very much for joining us. But hopefully, look at Henry. He's all fresh faced. He looks so much more with it than me right now. He's not, but he looks it. You showered, did you? Showered in preparation for the Pig in the Hen show. That's good.
You know, no one wants a dirty hen.
Nice,
or a dirty cock, whatever you want to call it. So Conte has been in all fireworks first half from what I heard. Absolutely going mental. Ross Barkley's had his debut today and he's come on. Basically, Willian got injured. Conte needed a player on ASAP. He signals Barkley to sort of come on. Barkley's training and there was just a bit of an not an exchange of words, but I think just a bit of a barking. Conte's such a barker, isn't he? He's one of them dogs. I don't know what sort of dog he is. Please tell me what sort of dog you think Antonio Conte is.
Jack Russell.
That's how he acts on the sidelines all day long.
Jack Russell, I reckon.
Well, there we go.
Dave Walters says, who's going to win the cup, guys? I mean, you can't really look beyond City at the moment, can you? If you're talking about the Carabao Cup anyway.
For City, I'm tempted to put a bet on. I am
16-1. I saw it at.
Oh, really? So you've been looking at it?
I did have a cheeky look, but I don't think that's going to happen. You know, they might do a double or treble, but surely they won't win. Even the Champions League alone that's very unlikely. Even considering they're actually favourites in the tournament right now, I think it's unlikely. Considering the pedigree that the other teams have in the competition, you know, City don't have that pedigree. They do have a manager who does, and certainly a team capable of winning it. But still, they've got to put all the pieces into place and actually do it.
For me, they're winning the Premier League, right?
Yeah, they're going to win the Premier League.
I think they're going to win the Carabao Cup.
They're probably going to win the Carabao Cup. But what I would say about the Carabao Cup, it's like they're going to get Arsenal or Chelsea in the final. Those are no gimme games, you know.
Arsenal and Chelsea, they're just a bit shit, though, aren't they, really, compared to Manchester City, when it comes down to it?
I think we're all sucking off City a little bit too much this season, mate. I think they're not...
I don't think we are. I don't think we're sucking them off enough.
Come on. You'd love to suck off City a bit more, wouldn't you? You'd have Pep on this side, Aguero on this side. Just go to town, wouldn't you?
I'm just into new badges, because City changed their badge, didn't they? City changed their badge a few seasons ago.
That's right.
So I'd have City's badge and Leeds' new badge.
But in comparison, I mean, City changed their badge from that old classic one, and at the time it was like, I don't know about that, it's a bit new. But it's aged well over the last couple of years. You know, it looks nice and modern and sleek and clean.
I think
Leeds, on the other hand,
the City new badge is absolutely brilliant.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's a ship or something, isn't it?
It's basically like their old badge, but just a rekindling of it. Whereas Leeds' new badge is totally different, and it looks totally awful. I don't know what they were thinking there. Not to mention, I've heard that they spent a very long time designing that and developing that, and a fair bit of money as well, just to develop this absolutely shite logo.
It's absolutely shit, isn't it?
Reminiscent of the London 2012 Olympics. What the fuck was that logo?
You know, why would you get rid of something that's like traditional for something that's just like, some bloke with a fucking arm like that? It's kind of like... It's almost semi-Nazi kind of in a weird way. I don't like it.
It's a little bit like
It's a bit like, you know, I'm better than you. Fuck off, yeah?
Yeah, no, I never really thought about that. It's almost like some, you know, like Third Reich type shit. Yeah. What's going on there, you know?
That's what it's about. Maybe it's new owners, isn't it? he's reborn. Could be, couldn't he? Dirty Leeds. That's the team we choose.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, Hitler's a Leeds fan, 100%. But Leeds has always been a swear word in my house, so I try not to use that word too many times.
Okay, sorry.
Fortunately for us, they haven't been in the Premier League for a while, so we haven't really had to cross paths with those scumbags. But
could happen.
Anyway, what a shit badge that is, in all seriousness. We hope you guys enjoyed the Pig and the Hen show last night. A little bit of a bonus episode this week. We said we would try and get as many Pig and the Hen shows, rather, out as we can every week. And we're going to try and do at least one every single Wednesday, but maybe even two, sometimes three if you're lucky, you know. So keep watching them, keep interacting with them, chucking likes and all that stuff. It lets us know
we got some
that you guys are
content for you
in watching it.
Sorry. I was just so excited.
You do like to cut me off, don't you, Hen? That's all right, mate.
Because I kind of heard you just trailing off, and
that's all right, mate. You take over, yeah?
The timing was wrong, you know.
We'll give you the opportunity. Can I just say you're looking a little bit sort of Al Chapo-like tonight, mate?
Well, is that a good thing?
Well, I don't know. You're Parker. It is a Parker. What did I say to you guys about Henry rocking Parkers? He always rocks a Parker.
It's the same Parker as I had on the last time.
There you go. Same Parker. I'm just saying, you look, you know, with the facial hair, with the slick back hair like that, with the Parker, with the hood. You're looking a bit gangster, mate. You know, it's not a bad thing. I'm saying that's good that you're looking.
Hence the pink T-shirt yesterday.
Yeah, proper gangster, that one.
So that's what I'm talking about. Pink's gangster, I told you.
That's right. But do you like my attire this evening, mate? I must say, it's a bit of a step up. It's
quite poker player sort of.
It is. It's a bit of a step up. You know, am I going to go shoot pool with somebody called Mississippi Johnson? You know, you just don't know. It could be.
But anyway, we have a massive 2018 for you. I'm looking forward to it. I think you're excited. Obviously, we got the World Cup in Russia. World Cup year, that is football year for me. That is heaven for me. Well,
amazing summer we've got coming up.
England's in there. I mean, I know it's Southgate, but fuck it. We've got to try and sit back and enjoy it, haven't we? Enjoy the ride. I don't know how long it's going to last, but hopefully it'll be a good one.
Yeah.
We've got the Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur. Sorry, I should say Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United next Wednesday at Wembley. That's going to be a massive one. We're gonna be loving that one. So
absolutely loving that. Yeah, let's just hope that United can get a good result out of it, because I'd hate to lose to this guy's team right now. That would really disappoint me. We need to close the gap on City. That's obviously a tough game. You don't really expect to go away to Spurs and win the game necessarily, but if we can, that'd be brilliant. We've got Alexis Sanchez in the side now. He's a world-class player we've added to our ranks there. I think we're going to see big things from him between now and the end of the season. We've signed him for a reason, and I think he's just the quality player that we have been missing. But we also need another top-quality midfielder and another top-quality defender, in my opinion. We'll have to wait till the summer for those.
But that brings me on to my next point. Alexis Sanchez, not cup-tied. Obviously, Arsenal not in the Champions League this season. So, he'll be playing. We're going to be looking at Champions League games this season. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some
Arsenal with
shows.
A chance here, mate. They've gone forward. Good ball in behind the defence. Lacazette puts the ball across.
Oh, is it Iwobi, is it?
Iwobi comes onto it. Edge of the area, he strikes, and it's saved by the keeper there.
Straight off the keeps.
Good bit of play by Arsenal. I must say, from what I've seen in this game so far, Arsenal have looked quite good on the counter-attack. Good passing, cutting Chelsea's backline open a couple of times.
It's been an exciting game.
I mean, they are winning the game 2-1 on the night. It's 2-1 on aggregate, of course, rolling over from the 0-0 last week. 76 minutes, 40 seconds gone, if you guys are watching. That's the stream we're currently watching.
So we're going to be having Champions League games coming up soon for you. Obviously, Tottenham Hotspur, Juventus. That's going to be a massive one. Who've Manchester United got coming up?
Oh, mate, I've just freaking woken up, pal.
Oh, come on. Surely you know that.
I do know it, mate, but you've ruined my head, mate, by waking me up early, you know?
People are helping you.
We've got a shit team
out there supporting you.
We've got a shit team.
Your decrepit mind.
Severe, yeah, severe. So,
thank you
good
to
draw from
Oliver.
us. I say we've got a shit
team.
team. They are a shit team based on the teams that left in it. It was a great draw for Manchester United. So, yeah, no, you put me on the spot there, though, mate. I can't think right now, you know what I mean?
What else have we got for you coming up this year? I think
the World Cup is going to be huge. I want to talk a bit more about that, actually.
Anthony Joshua.
It will be disappointing because you know England are going to just stink up the place as long as they can basically get to the quarter-final. It's like these days, I'd be happy with that. You know, previously, when we had Sven-Goran Eriksson, before that Glenn Hoddle, it's like, no, we should be getting to the semis. We're good enough. That golden generation of players that we have should be capable of getting to the latter stages. And when we didn't, it's very disappointing. But right now, as long as you do get out the group, maybe get past the next round, get to the quarterfinals, you know, as England, we're not one of the best teams in the world anymore. So we have to take that and accept that. But, you know, chances are we're going to absolutely bottle it Southgate style.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
But other key sporting events this year, we've got Anthony Joshua. I think the next fight for him's been announced, and it's against the Kiwi. What's his name?
Yeah.
What's his name? I know his name. It's Kiwi.
It's not Pulev, is it? It's the other one. You know.
Help.
We should know this, mate.
Parker.
Joseph Parker.
Joseph Parker. Of course it is.
Of course it is. Yeah.
So
it should be an easy fight for Anthony Joshua. Parker, I think, is undefeated as well, and he is a heavyweight champion. But you know, Anthony Joshua too classy, too big, too quick for him, I think. Alk Mamu in the house. How's it going, Alk? He says, Mr. Pig, you look like Andy Murray. Get out. Get out. I don't look like Andy Murray. That is a massive insult, Alk. I'm not happy about that, pal. What is it? The hair, the shocking facial
I think
do?
You've got the personality like Andy Murray, though. That's probably what he meant. You're coming across like Andy Murray, mate.
I do have...
Liven up. Drink a coffee.
I do have the same personality as Andy Murray, though. In my frickin' little finger, because that guy is mundane. Alk says the facial do. Yeah, I know what you mean. You know, it's like that sort of 12-year-old, you know, starting to come through. Don't really have a full beard type standards at the moment, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Oh dear.
So there's not too much longer left
About 12 minutes.
Game. This game can still go to extra time, and this is something that confused me earlier because I thought that in most competitions, or I thought the rules were that if you win in on aggregate and it gets to the end of 90 minutes of the second leg, then you win. But I'm pretty sure that this will go to extra time. If it had stayed at 1-1, it would have gone to extra time.
Yeah, I think they changed the rules the last couple of years.
If it goes 2-2,
Chelsea with a good chance there.
Extra time. And then at the end of extra time, if nothing's happened, then the team that's winning aggregate wins. There's no penalties. I don't like that. Who wants extra time if there's no chance of penalties? You know, extra time with no penalties at the end is like, you know, foreplay without the spunk at the end. Do you know what I mean?
Well, hang on. What are you saying? There's no penalties at the end. So, because it does the extra time, but the team that with the away goals wins.
That's it.
That is kind of like
shit,
what the point. What's the point of playing extra time then? Just play the 90 minutes.
Exactly.
You played 90 minutes in the first game with no extra time. Is that actually what the?
I believe so.
That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
Yeah.
Shocking. Yeah, not long left in this game. It's looking like, at the moment anyway, it'll be an Arsenal-Man City final.
Chelsea are going for it.
Chelsea are going for it, yeah. There's still 10 minutes left in this game. Anything can happen.
especially with, the fragility of Arsenal's defence there. No Mkhitaryan today. I guess it's too soon, isn't it, for him to be able to get straight involved?
Hasn't been able to sort of emotionally settle into Arsenal yet, old Henrik, so...
Well, you don't know that.
I'm guessing. I can guess. I think he's a very sensitive fellow, is our Henrik. He's going to take some time to settle in there. He's going to have to take some career advice of the likes of Danny Welbeck.
Is he Armenian? Is that where he's from?
He's Armenian, yeah. He's from Armenia.
What do you know about Armenia? That's a good question.
Okay, right. I don't know much about Armenia. I know a few famous people that are from Armenia.
Who?
I believe the heavy metal band System of a Down are from Armenia.
Are they really?
Yeah, I believe they're from Armenia. Or at least Serge Tankian, the lead singer, is from Armenia. Okay. That's good knowledge there. So you didn't think I'd know that, did you? But anyway, he's from Armenia, and that's Henrik Mkhitaryan. Yeah, that's all my knowledge on Armenia.
And what about the country, the people, the culture, the food, the history?
Well, I think
the locality, the geographic location. Come on, Peg.
I think they're very masculine people, mate. From what I've seen in media and films and stuff like that, Armenians are always represented as these real no shit hard men. From what I've seen. So I think that's it. Michael Callanan, how's it going? Phil Neville, put the women in the kitchen. Oh, let's talk about that, right? Phil Neville, okay. So today he was officially unveiled as the new England national team women's manager without any previous coaching experience, taking over from manager for any side before. But he is the new women's manager. And they've dug out tweets from 2011 or something. One which said some of them on the lines of, feel better now after I've got home and battered the missus, yeah? Okay, I think that's just a funny joke, I think it's gone a bit mad. Everyone's calling for him to be sacked, not even start his job before he's even given the opportunity, just because he put a tweet, so I'm going to batter the missus in a joke 7 years ago. I mean, come on, lighten the fuck up, the public. Lighten up. I mean, it's probably not a very clever joke to make. It's not, but we've all said stupid things we regret. Phil Neville should definitely be given the opportunity. It's not like he's a serial rapist here. It's not come out like he's Jimmy Savile it.
As far as I know, he's just a normal enough sort of bloke. Yeah. We all say things we regret. I say things. I probably already said something on this interaction today, which I regret.
We definitely said things yesterday. So, you could have cut down a clip yesterday to paint a picture of me being quite a homophobic gentleman, and I'm not at all. I love gays. But because what did I call you? I called you a bendor, which actually isn't a word, is it? It's a word that I've made up that basically means a bollocks vendor. A vendor of bollocks. I think that's quite appropriate.
I love this cover-up story you've come up with this evening for,
Shut up, you bendor. Alex Rincon in the house. How's it going with a little $5 super chat? Thank you very much, pal.
Why'd you have to say little? He can do what he wants.
Check him out. Look what he said.
He's tiny little.
You read a super chat out, mate.
I'm gonna make you guys a shirt design for the show. It's the least I could do. Smiley face. Thank you, Rincon. A shirt design. That's interesting. Could that be a logo for the show as a whole? Talking about badges.
That's right. I mean, Alex
something like that.
Alex Rudd knocked me up a little graphic for the Pig and the Hen show, which I've been using on Twitter and Circulate. Thank you very much for that, Alex Rudd. But yeah, Alex Rincon, a logo / shirt design would be absolutely amazing if you could. We don't really have the capabilities of doing that. We're a little bit simple-minded, if you will, But we'll
thick.
Says the man who can't even sign into YouTube to comment because apparently he's too thick to do
that's
so.
Just a cover story.
It is a cover story, mate. You should be fucked, mate. These are your people. These are your people.
It's true. I don't know how to do it. All right.
That is shocking. But yeah, he says, I want one once you guys print them. Thank you very much, Alex. I mean, I do actually have a T-shirt shop established, but if you go on there, like the logos and stuff that I've designed are obviously not that great. There was a graphic designer on Twitter called Hannah Carroll, who you may know, Manchester United fan, very nice girl, and she did me a couple of designs. There's a couple of good ones on there. If you want to go check that out, I believe the website is mrflyingpig.spreadshirt.com. You can actually order a shirt there. So just to put it out there, but
Spreadshirt.
Definitely if you could do an extra logo and we'll stick that on there, I'll definitely send you one, Alex. That'd be much appreciated.
What's a Spreadshirt?
Yeah, he said, but they ain't good. I'll make you something swagtastic. You legend! Maybe we can just get you as our graphic designer, Alex!
Thank you so much. What's a Spreadshirt?
It's just a website where they spread shirts out.
Oh, that's across the globe. I don't know about that.
Across the globe.
It's like a spreadsheet, isn't it? Not a spreadshirt. I don't know.
5 minutes left to go in this Carabao Cup game then. That's a funny name, isn't it? Carabao. Like, let's just name it after a water buffalo.
Oh, there we go.
Don't really get that. What is that about? I suppose, you know, like Rockstar energy drink. It's like, okay, I'm going to drink this energy drink because I'm going to be a rock star. You know, Red Bull.
Is that what you think?
I suppose it's no different.
That's why that one's your favourite.
It is, yeah. It is. You know, Monster Energy. I find that a bit offensive. Don't want to be a monster. Do you know what I mean? And what's the other one? It's Red Bull. Yeah, that's basically just like the water buffalo thing, isn't it?
What about a V? Can you remember that bad?
V, yeah, V's pretty tasty. Quite tasty. Martin's Bemis, how's it going? Carabao sounds more like South American club. What the fuck does that mean? A South American club? Is that what you mean? Like Carabao FC? Don't really know what you're on about there, mate. No, thank you for your comment, Martin.
Energy drinks. Red Bull just reminds me of vodka. Though that's the problem, because as a younger hen out and about, it was double vodka Red Bull, one after the other,
filth,
and then you know, it was kind of like, once I stopped going out, then it was all the I was still going out. But, you know, I was a little bit older. It was all about the Jaegers and the Jaeger.
That's so true. I much prefer a Jaeger.
I was the kind of the double vodka Red Bull generation.
Yeah. We were. We used to go out there.
Fucks you, though,
we used to drink that, and often you go into a bar and you pay like £5.80 for a double vodka Red Bull that's not even a fucking Red Bull. It's like some freaking red arse they've got from on the cheap from freaking Aldi or something, and they've got that in there. And yeah, your heart's freaking pounding, you're sweating. It's like you've been doing a freaking bag of ecstasy all night, and all you've done is drinking freaking energy drinks and vodka. It's kind of wrong. I think people have heart attacks. Their hearts explode on that shit.
Keeps you pissed all night, and yeah, this is the hangover is bad from too many of those. Can't do that anymore.
Oh no!
Like they say, stick to the Holston pills now. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, Jägermeister, I like that, man. That's one of the only sort of spirits that I can just neck on its own straight, and it doesn't bother me at all. I don't know why. Like vodka, you know, it's probably quite another smooth spirit, but there is something dirt about vodka, especially if you get a dirty vodka, you know?
You never tried Chinese baijiu, have you?
What's that, rice wine?
It's like white wine, like rice wine. It's just, you shouldn't really call it, it's not exactly
I have
rice
tried
wine.
Rice wine before.
I think it's made out of sorghum or whatever it's called. But,
sorghum?
Yeah, basically. Whatever that is. I don't really know what it is, but it's something, right?
Yeah.
And it's vegetarian, I'm sure.
Right,
but yeah, it's like 50. Usually, it's going to be around that 56% sort of mark.
Do you like my cup, by the way?
It's kind of vodka-ish, but extra strong. And what you do, you can't drink that on its own, really. You drink that with a meal, like some soupy noodles or a bit of salty chicken or whatever it is. You know, you sip that, right? And then what you do after your meal, not too many carbs, just like meat and veg and a bit of high spirits. Then afterwards, have a couple of beers, and then you're ready for a night. You know, you are ready for the town, son. You know what I'm saying? You are buzzing. Do you know what I mean? Because the vodka just goes. Psh, do you know what I mean? It's like a drug.
It's incredible. That's quite interesting, man. I've never really understood how people can have like really strong, straight spirits with a meal. Like, that would just totally ruin the whole meal for me.
It's an acquired thing.
How strong is it? Like, are we talking like glass of wine, or are we talking vodka?
Gasoline.
Oh my god.
56%. It's stronger than vodka.
It's the equivalent just sat
around. For your, uneducated
my
throat,
sensitive palate.
Then it would burn you. You would be throwing up.
Like sucking on white spirit or something.
I was throwing up when I first tried
What's the matter with why would you do that?
Well, because basically my missus.
Yeah, let's just eat a nice meal, got a nice roast on the go. Just puke up.
No, but it's not with a roast. You don't drink that with a roast, right?
Well, what do you drink it with then?
Like Chinese food.
Go on then. So like what? Like
anything.
Yonton or Yonton soup or something.
Yeah, well maybe, wonton soup, why not? Right, okay.
But you've already got a liquid there to drink. What do you want a spicy liquid for?
Let's make the pig's Chinese meal here. So you got your wonton soup, obviously you like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
Listen, let me just say,
chili in there maybe.
Let me just say, when it comes to Chinese food,
you don't like spicy, do you?
When it comes to Chinese food, I am about as English commoner as you can get, mate. Right. I don't really go very deep. Egg fried rice, bit of beef chow mein, sweet and sour chicken balls, no wonton soup. Fuck that West Coast shit. I want some hardcore East Coast flavour. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that wonton soup. It's all about the chicken balls. It's all about
the fattening.
The sweet and sour
Chinese
dishes.
Food,
That's
Chinese.
right. They're not really Chinese food. The sweet, sugary, nice, like Hong Kong style stuff, or like sweet and sour stuff, or Kung Pao. A little bit of Kung Pao. Take the peanuts out though. Don't know what the fuck's that all about.
Do you mean cashew nuts? Yeah, get it right.
Whatever.
I don't know what Chinese you go to, but they are stitching you right up with peanuts.
Right, check out cashew nuts.
You should get cashew nuts. If you're paying Kung Pao prices. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just ending up with a bit of KP in there, mate.
Yeah, they have
roasted peanuts.
They're like, this guy won't know the difference.
Answer me this, Henry. Are you 100% sure that cashew nuts do not fall in the peanut family? Because if not, then it's you that's looking like the mug right now,
What do you mean the family? It's nothing to do with family.
It's
family, cashews. Mate. I don't give a fuck about families.
No, it's
right?
families,
Cashews and peanuts. They're different nuts, right?
What genus is it?
Why do they have different names? Cashews and peanuts are obviously different nuts,
What genus is it, though? That's what I want to know.
Genus. Jermaine fucking genus. That's what it is, mate.
All right, I don't want a cashew doing anything dodgy, mate. Calm down, do you know what I mean?
I'm going to peanut you in a sec, mate.
2 minutes left in stoppage time. 92 minutes gone in the game here. Arsenal looking like they will progress through to the final, where they play City, as I mentioned. Good job by them. Man of the match today, Nacho Monreal. Obviously put a really good shift today. Fair play to him. Arsenal, this is a big result for them. You know, because they're not going to challenge for top 4 even this season, I don't think. They're not really going to win anything else. For them to win a trophy, if they can potentially beat City in the final, would just give them something at least. They've lost their best player. You know, they're not challenging for the top 4 spaces, really, although they could still sneak in there, who knows. But for them, this would be a huge boost, definitely. Just get to the final, win a trophy, that would be amazing for them. At least Arsene Wenger can hold on. Look, just give me one more year. Give me one more year, I'll get you back in the top 4. We'll win the FA Cup next season.
No, he wouldn't be talking like that, though. He wouldn't be begging them. He'd just be telling them, because that's what he's always done. They're the ones that bend it over for him.
I think that I'm a very good manager. more of a Conte.
That was much more content.
I was trying to be David. My name is David Ginola, and I used to play for Spurs.
No, that's terrible. There's nothing.
Go on, then you do one, you twat.
Ginola has got a lot higher voice than I was listening to this morning.
Go on, then you do it then. David Ginola impression.
Je m'appelle David Ginola.
You can't do it like that, mate. You can't talk French. It's an accent.
J'habite Paris.
Of course you're going to sound French if you're speaking French.
Oui. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
J'habite Paris. Absolutely not, no.
So I think I fucking beat you hands down. I
don't think you did.
French and everything.
No, it's not about speaking French.
The bar there.
Absolutely
not.
Bar. It lowered the bar, mate.
Nah, bollocks,
to idiocy.
Bollocks.
No, we're doing an accent. I am from France, and we speak like this. It's an accent.
No,
yes, it is. Shut up. What are you talking about? I'm from France. I know my shit. Okay? When I was in Los Angeles, a Frenchman came up to me, yes, and he said to me, "You lads, you from England, and the ladies in America, they love the English accent, but not as much as they love the French accent." That's actually what he said, some geese.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Alex Rincon says, "Pig do an LVG impression." Let's see if I can do an LVG impression.
No, you got it.
No, shut up. Shut up, Hen. Oh. Shut up, Hen. Louis van Gaal is here now. I previously Hitler in a old life, but no, Louis van Gaal. I like my stroopwafel just like I like my women. I like my stroopwafel nice and warm with some sauce on. And I like my players to be like I am at night, every night. I like them to be horny.
Oh, no, that's incredible.
Not that bad, was it? Come on.
Donation from Jack and Brad Gaming. Thank you so much. Good username as well, Jack and Brad Gaming. What's that? Do you both play FIFA? Because we do, and we'll fucking have you guys. We will. I'm telling you right now.
That's another thing we were talking about doing on the show there, Jack and Brad, is doing some live FIFA hangout videos. Oh, yeah,
because I am shit hot at FIFA. I'm telling you right now.
He's absolutely fantastic!
I'm pretty good, mate. I think I'm pretty good.
It's not bad, but in the pantheon of greats, you don't even get a look in, mate. You know, it's all about, in our circle of friends anyway, it's all about the flying pig at that #1 spot. You know, week in, week out consistency. Might drop a game here or there against some mug like this, but majority of the time, consistency-wise, we are on top anyway. That's what I'm saying. So thanks for that, Jack and Brad. His comment, actually, that comes along with the super chat. Thank you very much for that, mate. Pound sterling in the house. Thank you. He says, "Pig is the second coming of Thierry Henry." Eh? Really? Really? In what sense?
I don't really see how.
In what sense?
Please elaborate, please.
Glenn Ryan in the house, dropping a couple of euros on the podcast this time. Thank you very much, Glenn.
Legends, you too.
He says, "Legends, you too." No, Glenn. It's you that is the legend. The three amigos.
I think my comment was better than yours there.
Well done, Henry.
Yeah,
you win.
I think it was. I win. I see who's better.
Jack and Brad Gaming with the French accent.
Yeah, so that's all. That's it. That's all wrapped up.
Oh, the game's finished. Sorry for not keeping you up to date.
Chelsea with a very, very late chance, a late cross there, but defended well by Arsenal in the end. And we got a Manchester City Arsenal Carabao Cup final to look forward to. I hope City win because I hate Arsenal. I'd be happy to see City do the quadruple this season. Just for the fact, from the neutral perspective of like fucking hell, that Premier League team absolutely just dominated.
Filth. No, we don't want City. Because I tell you why.
It's because you're United.
Yeah, it is. Why. And I tell you another reason because one of the biggest footballing achievements there has been in my lifetime, at least, is when Manchester United did the treble in the '99 season. We won the FA Cup.
Yeah, you're worried that the legacy of the treble's going to be affected by the quadruple, the fucking quad bike. Sorry,
mate, shaking the whole fucking gaff.
The quad bike that Pep's on, do you know what I mean? Each wheel with a trophy embedded into the alloy. That's what it's going to be, mate. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fair play to you, mate. That's quite an interesting image that conjures up. But yeah, I mean, it would be bad if City did that, wouldn't it? What a great achievement that would be. They won the League Cup, FA Cup, League, and the Champions League. You can't get any better than that. That's historic. It is. You'd have to say that's an amazing achievement. I don't think it's going to happen, though. It's too difficult to do that, Everything has to align. All the stars have to align. Have to be free from injuries. You have to come up against teams that you're better than on the night on all those different nights. And the thing is with finals is that you are playing the best team in the competition left, other than yourself. So I think it's a very big ask for Pep Guardiola to do that. I think if he wins the league and nothing else, he'll be happy with that.
But look at the stats at the moment. City are 12 points at the top of the league.
Yeah.
All right. They are in the final for the Carabao Cup. All right. The FA Cup, they are still in. Who have they got next? We've got City got an pretty easy one next, I'm sure. Whoever it is, because they just walk over anyone anyway.
No, they don't. Come on.
And then
they lost
the
to
Champions
Liverpool.
League, I think they've got an easy first round there. So you're looking at that. There is every possibility. Did you say 16-1?
16-1. It was on Sky Bet earlier.
I like those odds.
Hell no. You're going to lose your money there, mate. I suppose chuck a tenner on, you might win at 170.
What about for 3 trophies? I wouldn't mind that.
I'd imagine a lot less odds, and it depends which 3 trophies. If you take the Champions League out of that, it probably drops down to like 6-1, 8-1, something like that. If you take the Champions League out, but if you keep the Champions League, then I wouldn't imagine it'll drop very much.
Yeah, we need our sort of Paddy Power or whoever it is.
We need a resident bookie.
If you are a bookie out there and you want to be involved in the show somehow and be able to tweet us,
promote your website,
odds, etc., then that would be very much welcome, wouldn't it? I'll go to man there. So that's a job opportunity for someone, but it's voluntary work.
Yeah. Shebsy Don comments, how's it going, Shebsy Don? He says, I reckon we can challenge for Champions League this season. I'm guessing you're a United fan, my friend. And I think you're right as well. Now with the signing of Sanchez, he's not cup tied and he can come in there. We've still got great team, don't we? Pogba, Zlatan could come back into it, Lukaku, Martial. We have got really good players. We saw pre-season what Martial did to Real Madrid's defence. There's no reason he can't do that again to these type of quality teams. And obviously, it's just Jose getting the best out of him. What I like about Jose is he is a pure tournament manager. He is a competition manager. And what I mean by that is he will find a way to get through to the next round. It might not be pretty. It might be ugly. We might defend. We might park the bus. But he will get that goal and he will sit. And he will, he will get us through the next round. So that's what I like. Obviously, it doesn't always work like that. I think United, realistically, if we're looking at it right now, we'd be happy with getting to the semi-finals of the Champions League with the other teams that are in it. It's not easy, is it? It's not easy. But I personally think, right, you'll disagree with me, and probably most people will, neutrals will, etc. But I think with the signing of Sanchez now, the team that we have, Jose as manager, we are just as likely to make things happen and get things, put everything together on the night and get to the final of the Champions League, just as likely as City, in my opinion, You can't say that based on form. Why are you
so quick to say that I would disagree with
that? Because the form of Man City is way better. You're just saying that you're going to have a bet on the quadruple.
But you've got Sanchez now.
But that's one man. He's one geese.
It is so key. It's unbelievably key. I think you've been missing Sanchez. All season. That's it just makes complete sense to me.
100%, because Mkhitaryan's just not been there. So not only have we got like an on-form Mkhitaryan equivalent now, but he's actually better than Mkhitaryan. So it's a big boost for us. Yeah, attacking-wise, you can't complain. It's going to be about how we defend. But in terms of defending, I'm happy with how United's defence plays. Under Jose, we defend well. You can't say we don't defend well. Part of the bus call us boring, but we defend well. Ashley Young's been great this season. Valencia on the other side, fantastic. We saw what a good performer Phil Jones has turned into under Jose. Chris Smalling, doing very well. Then we've got Eric Bailly out coming back into it. So we have actually got a good defence. I just don't think it's quite up there. It's not your Patrice Evra, your Ferdinand, your Vidic and your Gary Neville. It's not as good as that. But it's getting there now. And the midfield, it's not your Scholes and it's not your Kino, but it's Pogba and Matic. It's solid with the creativity and the attacking verve from Pogba and getting forward and it's got a good balance to it.
Have to admit,
so I like the side now. I just think we can always add quality.
You have to admit, though, I think there have been shit signings made by Mourinho. Whether those... Do you think the signings have all been his decisions?
No, I'd imagine so. Who's the shit signing?
Mkhitaryan for a start.
Is it a shit signing because we've signed him and we swapped him for Sanchez?
Yes, well,
amazing signing.
That's a bit of luck in the end because of good negotiations. Yeah. But in terms of signing
if we didn't have that player, we might not have got Sanchez.
In terms of signing a player, though, for your club to perform well and make your team better, was Mkhitaryan a good signing?
He was, yeah.
No, I don't think he was.
He was at the start.
He certainly didn't make enough of an impact.
He was at the start of his career when he first came into Manchester United. He looked great. He sat on the bench for a while, didn't do much. Jose gave him an opportunity. He took that opportunity. Came on the next game, scored, and he was very, very, very good for a short while. And, Alex Rinkel says, yes, he was. He won us the Europa League. He had an impact. It just didn't work out for him. And who's to say that if he didn't stay at Manchester United now, just let this bad form pass? Because I think that's what it is. He is a very good player. Then he would have been, I think, being able to get his Manchester United career back on track and be a very good player for us. But I just think the opportunity arose where Arsenal were trying to get Mkhitaryan before we signed him. Wenger rates him very highly. Sanchez is leaving anyway for free. We can see that Sanchez is on a slightly different level to Mkhitaryan, so we're up for the trade. They're up for the trade. All the stars aligned, and we swapped him. But if we hadn't have got Sanchez if we hadn't have got Sanchez and we had kept Mkhitaryan, I wouldn't have been worried at all. I just thought, right, Mickey, sort your freaking lives out, put those shit performances behind you and start performing, and he probably would have done.
A lot of words, though, there, Pig, to defend the man. That's all I'm saying. It's not like it's straightforward, black and white. Yeah, he was a great signing for United. No way, no chance. Do you know what I mean? He's out the door already. You just wanted.
Important for last season, not this season. Terrible this season, but important player for us last season. So if we want to take the Sanchez deal out of it, even though we swapped him, take that out of it. If that never happened, would I have still wanted Manchester United to sign Mkhitaryan based on what he did whilst at United? And the answer to that, my friend, is yes, because he had an impact in winning those things for us last year.
Interesting views. I saw a comment earlier. I don't know who it was. Apologies there.
It was Alex Rincon, mate.
Not Alex. Not Alex Rincon's comment, but another comment saying that overall Mkhitaryan was a poor signing. So there are obviously United fans that do think that. Other poor signings. Okay, talking about poor signings.
You're going to mention Victor Lindelof now, are you? You're going to mention Victor?
He hasn't lit the world alight.
He hasn't yet. No, but he's solid. He's solid. He's solid.
Bit of an anomaly, though, really.
He's solid. A lot of players take a little time to settle into the league. It's totally different tempo, totally different speed to the league he's come from. Where did we get him from? The Dutch league, wasn't it? Victor Lindelof? I think so. Anyway, I may be having a mare there because, like I say, I've got fuzzy, sleepy brain right now.
Romelu Lukaku is certainly contestable. We've had many Pick Show episodes talking about Lukaku. Bullshit. Did you read the amount of comments from fans out there, fans of the show, United fans?
Great signing.
Some people's, taking it over the top maybe, but a lot of...
He scored 11 in 10 at the start of the season.
A lot of genuine concern of the level of quality that Lukaku is.
For a spell, he went out of form, didn't he?
So 11 goals. That was all a knee-jerk reaction.
It was,
yeah. Out there.
I wasn't happy with it either. I want to see him perform better. But 11 goals in 10 games at the start.
Excuse me.
Bless you, mate. That was a feminine sneeze. 11 goals in 10 games at the start of the season. Not only that, he has started to get his form back on track now. He's always provided assists as well along the way. And he's not been to keep scoring. So I think, plus, it's not just about one season with a player like Romelu Lukaku. He is proven in the Premier League. He's young. He's getting better. He is getting better. It's about the long term for Lukaku. I'm happy that we signed him even for that money.
Pogba hasn't been lived up to his price tag either.
No, he's one of my most disappointing signings, but it's
mostly... who have you signed that's been good
Hang on a second, it's mostly based on the price tag, and you have to say that when we've played with Paul Pogba in the side, we do seem to do better. Some games he looks absolutely unplayable. He's brilliant last game before last, bit shit in the last game. That's how he is. He's a bit inconsistent. If he can get the consistency in his game, then he will be considered a truly world-class player, because he is. He's got all the attributes. So he's such a complete player. Passing, tackling, defending, vision, execution, technique, everything is a very top level for Paul Pogba. Unbelievable talent. It's just about doing it consistently.
Says, top assists in the league, come on. And you're right there, but I'm just repeating what I've heard other fans say, and it's not like it's all thumbs up.
Check this out. Check this comment here. Check this comment here from Jamie Ralston. Thanks for your comment. He says Pogba's got the same number of assists this year as De Bruyne in like 8 less matches. That's true. He's a joint assist maker in the Premier League.
I'm not saying Pogba's bad.
That's fucking good, isn't it? The guy doesn't look good, but he's still statistically providing the goals.
Is the issue then with a lot of United fans? Do you think United fans expect too much? Will criticise a lot where they maybe shouldn't need to be criticising?
No, I think the difference between like United and let's just compare it. I know you don't like me to talk about it, mate, but to a Spurs fan mentality, Spurs fan, it's totally different, man. We do ask more out of our players. We're an ambitious club from the very top down. We spend money, we get the best players, and we spend a lot of money on Paul Pogba. £90 million for a player who came for the United Academy originally. Now, for that £90 million, we expect a return, and we expect an instant return on it, really, because you're spending that sort of money. You expect a ready-made, world-class warrior to come in there and marshal that midfield, and if he doesn't live up to that, if there's any one game where it doesn't happen, of course us United fans are not going to be happy because we want him to perform.
Because when has he ever been that? For Everton anyway, he was a very, very good player, but he was never Lionel Messi, and it's almost like you're expecting...
No, you're totally wrong there, mate. He was Lionel Messi. But he was that player. Almost, it's a totally different style of player, but he was that effective.
Yes, but
over in Italy for Juventus, look at his statistics. The goals, the free kicks, the long shots, the amount of times he put the ball in the back of the net for them, the assists. He was an unbelievable complete midfield for Juventus. He hasn't been able to replicate that form consistently for Manchester United in the Premier League at all. Really. He's done it here and there, of course.
I thought we were talking about Lukaku.
No, we're talking about Pogba, mate.
No, but I was just talking about Lukaku. Yeah,
but then we got onto Pogba. Oh, you said Everton? I thought you said never, son.
No, but we were already talking about Lukaku.
Well, listen, maybe
we have had a complete mare.
I think you've had the mare, mate. You started talking about Lukaku.
Well, no, you've had the mare.
No, you've had the mare, mate. You started talking about Lukaku, and then you went on to Pogba, and I'm still talking about Pogba, and you've gone back to Lukaku. You've got to let me know the sequencing, mate.
Is that fucking cinema?
Right, here's another question from Alk Mahmoud, my old mucker. He says... Herrera a flop. That's another player you could say. But hang on, he wasn't signed by Jose, was he? He was signed by the previous
True. So I try to... You're right then.
But Herrera, to me, is one of those players that we should maybe look to improve upon. He has been okay for us at times. Last season, I think he was one of our best players. Most people disagree with him on that, but I think he always gave us that drive in midfield. Even better than the likes of Paul Pogba showed last year. But to me, he's not complete enough. He's not consistent enough. I would look to move him on and get somebody who is better in there, Who remains to be seen, but get somebody who is better than him. It's all about improving the starting 11. Ahmed Zaidan comes in with a comment, Herrera is not a flop, but he is limited. There you go. I mean, we do have other players at the club that are not as good as Herrera in that position. I'd say, talking about midfielders, Marouane Fellaini I'd rather see going before Ander Herrera. So I think Ander Herrera's got a place in the squad, but in terms of the actual starting 11, it's going to be difficult for him to actually break in there now with the players that we've got come in. Herrera was utilised by Van Gaal and Mourinho a little bit last year in a more advanced position, in that number 10 role. Of course, he plays in a deeper midfield role. That's more what he's used to. But in terms of playing up the pitch, those days are over. He's never going to be playing that number 10 role in behind the striker ever. I just don't see that happening because we've got too much quality there. So the only way he's going to break into the team is to dethrone the likes of Matic and Pogba, which I don't see happening if they're both fit. So I think he's not going to play. You're not going to see as much from Herrera. He's going to come on in games and do things later in games and play in cup games against, Yeovil Town and stuff like that. Of course, last time, I don't know if you guys remember, the last time we played Yeovil Town, Herrera scored an unbelievable goal to win us the game. So I think we'll see him in that game, but I don't think he's going to play as much,
There's a lot of players like that in the league, isn't there, that just kind of play the cup games, are literally sort of sat on the bench every game and make him come on at sort of 90th minute kind of players, aren't there? And, Theo Walcott was one of those, wasn't he, for Arsenal to a certain extent? And it's... potentially, if we look at Herrera as a player and we forget about Manchester United just for one split second, he might be a player that might look to go elsewhere if he wants to because I think he's undoubtedly a decent player, and maybe he'd be better off going elsewhere.
Interesting. Is there any other big transfer stories that have come out? Because obviously this is the January transfer window we're in right now. Anything happened today in terms of other clubs signing any sort of marquee signings? I haven't heard anything.
I don't think so.
We've had some big deals in this window. Of course, the biggest, actually being the smallest monetarily wise, is the Sanchez deal. Amazing deal. Big signing for Arsenal too, getting Henrik Mkhitaryan, a player they wanted. That's right, Alex Rink on Edin Dzeko to Chelsea. I heard that has been on the books today.
Aubameyang to Arsenal.
I think that's a really good signing. When City got rid of Edin Dzeko, I couldn't believe that. Edin Dzeko was class for City. I always really rated him.
Oh yeah, brilliant player.
Great player, strong,
big strong man. That's exactly
physical, great finisher.
I think that's exactly the right signing for Chelsea.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been linked with the likes of Andy Carroll, Peter Crouch. I think that's just a joke, really.
They're not as good,
I don't see any reality in that. I don't see those players helping Chelsea particularly. They're just going to, drag Chelsea down to being West Ham sort of standard. So, you know what I mean?
I think you're right. They've got the best of both worlds there because they have got a big physical player who they can come on and impact games, late in games, and he's a physical presence up there. But he's also skillful. He's also very good finisher. Much better player. Much more like a Diego Costa than an Andy Carroll or Peter Crouch. Come on, I mean, Peter Crouch, you can't deny the amount of goals he scored. He's a very useful player, but he's a big gangly newborn freaking giraffe of a player, isn't he? He's so cumbersome. It looks like he shouldn't even be playing football.
I still have him for England though, just about, because he's
you still have
him
at Spurs, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't know. Come on. Maybe. I mean, Llorente is right, isn't he? But Peter Crouch,
I'd rather have Peter Crouch than Llorente, man.
Yeah, well, that's
it. Yeah, because he's always going to be playing second fiddle anyway. And if you are going to play second fiddle, you might as well have some just an absolute beanpole come on and knock the ball into him. 6'7", 6'7", Peter Crouch.
Yeah, he's fantastic, isn't he? Well, why don't they just go out and just sign the tallest man in the world or something? It'd just look good, wouldn't it? In a way, it'd be like, fucking hell, look how tall he is, look how big his shot is.
Just not mobile enough. Like, I don't know if you see a lot of basketball players can be very mobile, like 7 feet tall. But at the end of the day, they're just absolute donkeys.
And the shortest man in the world, that'd be brilliant as well, wouldn't it?
Well, they've already got that, mate. It's Lionel Messi, mate. Lionel Messi's like 5'6", isn't he? I don't know.
That's it. Has Crouch met Messi?
I don't know, but that would have been a funny meeting.
Messi has shook hands with some tall people there, so there's some funny images.
Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bryant.
There we go.
He did that shocking, cringeworthy airline advert with him. Do you remember that? That was absolutely cringe. Lionel Messi making the Benjamins, though. He don't give a shit. The guy's rich as shit. Imagine having being on the money, Lionel Messi. What is he on? Like $500,000 a week?
Oh, ridiculous.
Not to mention all of the sponsors that he makes, the money he makes, the money he illegitimately makes from avoiding paying tax. He makes shitloads of money, doesn't he?
David Kang with a lot of comments about Son Heung-min. Obviously, a lot of love there for the Korean international, and looking forward to seeing him in the World Cup this summer. I do think he's a brilliant player, most underrated player in the Premier League. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Hopefully, he'll continue to be consistent for Tottenham Hotspur. I think he's key to our.
You've got a little comment there for you from Poisonous Nut, if you want to read it.
Hello, lads. You can't move. What are we going to do? Oh, forget about that for now. If it happens, it happens. Cross that bridge when we come to it, yeah?
It's not going to happen for a while, though, is it?
Not too soon, not too soon.
How long are we talking here? Not before the end of the season. You're not welching on that bet, mate.
No, we should be all right.
If so, you're PayPaling that from China, mate, if fucking Man United finish above Spurs.
But talking about the World Cup, I wanted to talk about Joe Hart, not David Moyes. What am I on about?
Why do you want to talk about Joe Hart,
mate? I want to drag this up, right? Because World Cup's on the horizon. It's something to talk about.
Yeah, he's the best keeper we've got. We've got a shit bunch of keepers.
Gareth Southgate has come out and basically said today, or very recently, he said that, that place is not 100% Hart's necessarily. Whereas before, he was always, Joe Hart, Joe Hart, Joe Hart. And, a few months we were having this conversation. You've always been like, no, Joe Hart's still our best keeper. He needs to play. Do you still believe that then?
Yeah, I do. I know he's not been great, but listen, who else we've got? Jack Butland, Tom
Heaton. You're a joker.
You're going to have. Look at the experience. He's got 60 times he's represented England. I
don't care.
And I've always thought when he's represented England, take the Man City performances out of it and stuff. We're talking about a Golden Gloves winner here. Clean sheets, most in the Premier League one season. Very, very good. He won goalkeeper of the season in the Premier League while he was at Birmingham. Now, that's a team who are getting battered, who are getting battered week in, week out. But he is being absolutely unbelievable in between the sticks. Let's not forget that. If you were talking about career-wise, okay, he's gone off the boil and he's gone out of form, he's lost confidence and all this stuff, and Pep got rid of him and he went to Torino and he didn't do well over there. Even with all that,
went to West Ham, not doing so well there.
Yeah, even with all that, his career is still more impressive than Tom Heaton, than Jack Bundland, than who else? What other mugs is there? Fraser Forster.
Yes, are you serious,
is better.
Though? You can't just. It's all. Why don't we just play David Seaman then? He used to be fantastic.
Yes,
for
please.
England.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I take fucking anyone compared to the goalkeepers we've got at the moment. They're just not good enough. They're really not.
Let's be honest, Seaman obviously wouldn't be able to perform to that standard.
Why not?
Anymore.
I'd still stick him in there.
Well, okay, well, there we go. That's an interesting one, isn't it?
He was good.
You are saying we stick with Joe Hart just because he used to do well for England, his record, etc., all these Golden Gloves bullshit. It's like, fuck that. If he's not playing at the moment, his confidence, yes, he might appear confident, he can't even get past Adrian at West Ham.
I understand.
He can't get past Adrian. He cannot be playing for England.
I understand.
So are you still having him in your England team? Yes or no?
Yes. You can't accept that, no? I'm just giving you my explanation for it. You're an idiot, mate. You're an idiot.
This is why England don't win, because of monks like you. It's idiotic.
Jack and Brad
stick Joe Hart in.
Jack and Brad gave me with another super chat. Thank you very much. He says he would prefer Butland or Pickford over Hart.
Yeah, all day long. Either of those.
That's right. Either of those. You mostly gang up on me.
I personally go for Pickford myself, but all day long, Jordan Pickford has just been voted the best young player of
and that's exactly what it is. He's a young player. He's an inexperienced player. He has no national experience.
Bring him into England, where someone like Joe Hart can't even get into West Ham's team. He can't get into
There's
West
a long
Ham's
time.
team.
There is a long time between now and the end of the season. He can re-establish himself in the side. He can improve. Why not, mate? Why not? Listen, all I'm saying, I'm not necessarily.
But if he doesn't,
hold on a second. Hold on a second now. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. No, I'm going to say my piece now. You shut up. I'm going to say my piece. All I'm saying is that even if you are going to take Butland or you're going to take Pickford and they're going to be your number one choice, I'd love to have Hart there to be able to, impart some experience, to have that experience in the side there, to be one of the senior members of the side, and to be there, all importantly, if it happens like Rob Green and somebody just implodes out there and makes a huge error, then they can't live up to it because so much pressure would be on these young players' shoulders, right? Whereas Joe Hart, look at what happened in the 2010 World Cup, right? Rob Green, given the nod. There you go, Rob. Play against the United States. Mickey Mouse team in the group stages. We'll beat them. Rob Green, yeah, nice. He's been doing great in the league, hasn't he? Great in the fucking league. What does he do? Absolute calamity. Clint Dempsey, fumbles in the back of the net. Shocking bit of goalkeeping, right? Then what happens? Confidence goes to absolute shite. Next game, he's out. Joe Hart's in for the rest of the tournament. Why is that? Joe Hart obviously has a better temperament than a lot of goalkeepers, even right now with him being shit.
Are you Joe Hart? You. Are we talking to Joe Hart?
What the fuck are you talking about,
mate? Defending yourself.
I'm just giving you my opinion on Joe Hart.
Nobody said you can't come on the plane. You know what I mean? No one said you can't be there to support the other keepers.
I'm feeling a little bit sour, okay? My head and shoulders contract's just gone up.
You're not going to be in between the sticks. Simple as.
Mate, my head and shoulders contract's
gone
up.
Man. Yeah, we can see
I need to get on the plane. But no, anyway, that's my opinion. Most people don't agree, and I understand it, He's not on form. He's not even in West Ham. So how can you take Joe Hart, based on that? It's like saying, we'll take Jack Wilshere.
Yeah,
but hang on. That's what you fucking said to do.
Do you think we should bring Jack Wilshere? Because
you can't win with you, mate.
Arsenal just beaten Chelsea.
He's always injured, though.
In that game, then Jack Wilshere plays pretty much every game for Arsenal at the moment. He's basically their captain. He's been their best player, hands down, basically every last however many games.
Until he gets fucking injured.
He's all day long in form at the moment, and he needs to be in the England side.
I'm not taking him.
We do not have any. We don't have enough players. We don't really have any players like Jack Wilshere that has that creative
very good
spark,
creative player, yeah.
That
doesn't impress me much.
We need to link up with Harry Kane. We need that.
You
can't see that.
He doesn't impress me, mate. He's a good passer of the ball, but other than that, I like the way his passion and the way he plays, and he does sort of lead by example, and he's got a lot of fire in his belly, and I like that. But he's always fucking injured, and
as long as he's not injured, then he'll be all right, won't he?
Yeah, but he is always injured. It's like saying, Michael Owen's never injured in the latter part of his career. He's always fucking injured.
Alex Rincon says, I'd take Harry Winks over Jack Wilshere. I think 100%. Harry Winks is a brilliant player.
100%.
He hasn't been I don't know if he's got some injury at the moment, but he hasn't been playing for Spurs the last few games. But when he has been playing, he's been brilliant. He's been brilliant for England when he's come in, really. And yeah, I would take him as well. I'd have him as well.
How can you say that, though, based on what? He went to Bournemouth, started well, did okay. Arsenal taking him back. He's played a few games. Didn't he get injured in the other game? Is he even fit right now?
He was playing today.
Oh, right, okay.
He went through the back of fucking, you know, your favourite poster boy. What's his name? He's gone to Chelsea.
Don't know.
You know, he's gone. It's the trick of Ross Barkley, isn't it? It's his debut today.
Yeah.
Right? Jack Wilshere was just all over him today.
Fair enough. No, he is a decent player, but it's about actually doing it week in, week out. And he's too fucking much of a lot. He's so injury prone. You know, you could take him, and you don't want to use that one spot on the plane for somebody who's just going to be a complete sick note when you get there. You know, what World Cup was it? 2002, I think, or 2006, when we had Michael Owen. And I love Michael Owen, one of the best players England have produced, really. But first game, he just had some horrific injury. And, you know it was going to happen because he's always fucking in the physio room. He's always injured, and he got some horrendous injury. And that is one space on the plane that we just... You know, we're screwed now. And if you take Wilshere and you put all your eggs in the basket of Wilshere, then guess what? Those eggs are going to get fucking cracked because his shins are made of plasticine.
You talk about it like it's a boxing World Cup, and we've decided to, you know, just choose.
It's a very physical game, mate.
Do you know what I mean? It's like there's lots of squad places. Why can't he be on the plane? If Joe Hart could get on the plane, Jack Wilshere could get on it.
But Joe Hart's not going to get injured, mate, and just waste the space, is he? I'm only talking about Joe Hart for a backup. Between now and the end of the season, he could play his way back into the number one spot. That's all I'm saying, right? Experience, 50-odd caps for England. Who else has got that?
On form
Pickford doesn't have that.
Jack Wilshere gets on the plane, and if not in the team. For me, at the moment, I'll be honest with you.
Listen. It is a very, very different scenario.
I'm a Tottenham fan as well.
Unfortunately, you are.
I'm a Tottenham fan.
It's a very different scenario.
So what does that say about him? Listen, he must be a great player for Spurs fans.
Bullshit.
A Yido like myself could be...
Because you don't know football, mate, evidently. If you think Jack Wilshere should be on the plane, you're having a mare, pal. Okay. Joe Hart, right? He has been England's keeper for how many years now, right?
He's still beating on the Joe
I'm
Hart
beating on the banner. I'm just saying that he should perhaps be on the plane as a backup, right? Another player could maybe play their way into it, but Jack Wilshere, you can't. Based on what? Based on a few good performances
Leeds. Joe Hart should go for Leeds. He's that much of a mug.
That much of a wanker. What's that about?
Joe
Leeds,
Hart,
badge.
Yeah?
Oh, we're Leeds. We're freaking Leeds. I don't get that at all. What a shit badge. Seriously. But anyway, no, if he can play his way in between now and the end of the season, mate, that's what I'm saying. Who knows what's going to happen? Football is crazy. Jack Wilshere is more likely going to be injured come the end of the season. Don't put your eggs in that basket because they will get cracked.
We'll see.
But it does pose a question. He is one of the most creative players that England has. Unfortunately, I don't reckon his overall game is that great. I know you disagree with that, and a lot of people do. But who do we actually have? You know, who's that sort of Paul Scholes or even that sort of Steven Gerrard, that driving player in midfield? Who's in the middle of the park? You know, we mentioned Harry Winks. We mentioned, you know, there's Eric Dyer who can play a more defensive role in that. What would your midfield be?
There aren't any players like that.
Ross Barkley, you know,
Barkley doesn't get. I don't know if he gets on the plane or not, depending on how he gets on for Chelsea.
Dele Alli?
At the moment, not really. Dele Alli's a bit off form, but of course he's on the plane. He's still just about in the team for me.
Jesse Lingard?
Lingard's there all day long, 100%.
That's what I mean, but even those players, they're more your sort of advanced players, your trickier players, your more wingery type players, as is Raheem Sterling, more wingery type players, you know. We don't really have that creative Steven Gerrard quarterback playmaker, you know. Jack Wilshere's probably the closest thing we've got. Or John Joe Shelby, Voldemort himself, but he's too bang average.
No,
Drink water,
I don't know for me, nah.
Henderson is wank, Sam Smith says Henderson is wank. I agree, mate. I mean, I don't really understand all this hype about Jordan Henderson. You know, he's bang average. He's okay, but not good enough for me.
For me, I'm a Tottenham fan, and it's Harry Winks and Dyer for me.
It probably is for me as well.
Because they know how to play together. Would you go with that then?
Sean Hunt says Michael Carrick. You know, he's not been playing a lot for United, but
he's just getting on. He's getting on.
Yeah, but experience. There's something about you, mate. You don't like these older players, do you? You know, Joe Hart's got his 50-odd caps for England. Just fucking right off.
You can't have too many of these old players. Maybe one. Okay.
Experience is very important.
I wouldn't be taking
an old head.
He's been there. He's done that. I'm not taking Carrick. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Rooney's retired from international football.
Yes, but even so, it's kind of like.
I tell you what, though, in a way, it'd be nice if he hadn't, because look at him over at Everton. He's proved a lot of people wrong that his career was finished and he was over the hill. he's still, he's right up there in terms of goals this season. He's doing really well. I'm happy for him. I think he's done well. Go back to his boyhood club there, Everton. They're not really going to cause us too many problems, but he himself can shine individually. And I'm telling you now, if I'm Gareth Southgate, come April, May time, I'm on the blower to Wayne, and I'm trying to get him to change his mind, trying to get him to come out of retirement just for the World Cup. So I think his experience is vital. And I know you don't like the older players with experience. You like to give it to the young whippersnappers, like these young goalkeepers who've never played for England.
Who said just because I don't want Joe Hart going, or I don't want Joe Hart in the team, sorry, you're saying that I don't like experience?
Well, it sounded like it, mate, with the way you just discounted Carrick there, even though he's very experienced.
Carrick is like 36.
Yeah, Jack and Brad Gaming. Carrick is better than Wilshere. He is 100% in terms of pass for the ball.
How old is Carrick now?
35.
He's not playing first team football. 35. He's 35 years old. He's a dinosaur.
Why is he not? Ryan Giggs played until he was 40, mate.
Yeah, but
Michael Carrick is more of that Paul Scholes role as well.
We're talking England. Yeah, we're talking current England starting 11, and people are saying Michael Carrick. I'm sorry, guys, but no. This is just United. Oh, it's Michael Carrick.
Steven Gerrard. Frank Lampard, both playing when they were 35. Experience is vital in those competitions. Players who have been there, done that, bought the T-shirt, got a bit of sick on it. Those players are very important.
I don't disagree with that, but for me, no. Carrick is a bygone era. Bottom line, Alex Rincon, thank you so much. Another little donation there,
lad.
Rincon said that Ashley Young should be going all day long. I agree with that. He's an experienced player.
That's not what Rincon said.
He said it in a previous comment, but you just overlooked that one.
That's fine. I overlooked that one, yeah. Well, the other ones does pop up like nice and big and highlighted, so it makes it easier. Thank you very much for that.
You still haven't said it, have you?
Let me read your comment out.
Something to me.
Oh, someone's getting a little bit het up here, aren't they? Somebody might have to get a knuckle sandwich in a minute.
Yeah. Give you a Sonic sandwich.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know. You said knuckles.
Fucking hell. Right, the midfielders I would pick, this is what Alex Rincon has said, the midfielders I would pick, Lingard, Winks, Dyer, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Dele Alli.
Yes.
Quite interesting, I like that.
But I take Wilshere in as well, I'll squeeze Wilshere in.
I do rate Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think Liverpool did a good job getting him over there, I think he's going to be a good player for them. And yes, I agree with you, I think he is one of England's better options in that position, definitely. So yeah, I can't really deny your picks there. I think those are some good picks. You don't really give a shit though, do you, pal? Because, who are you supporting in this World Cup, mate?
So is Rincon not English?
Alex Rincon, you're not English, are you, mate?
I thought he must have. He talks about it like he knows the team.
I'm pretty sure he's either from Canada or America. I always forget.
I think he lives in the States.
He's American, yeah. And guess what? America are in the World Cup, are they? So, he's from Dallas, Texas. Fair play to him. Dallas, Texas, where JFK was assassinated.
Do you know, right? Rincon, right? Listen to this. I support San Antonio Spurs, who are from, where's that? That's Texas, isn't it?
Yeah.
San Antonio. So,
Why do you support them? Because they're also Spurs.
Because they're Spurs, yeah.
That
so
is super lame.
I don't really know who plays for them or anything, but they're the Spurs, aren't they? So you've got to respect them. Do you know what I mean? They're a decent NBA side as well if you're into your basketball.
Alk with a comment, he says Barkley should go as a wild card. 100%. To me, if you've taken Wilshere or Barkley, it's not even a decision, it's not even a choice. 100% Barkley should go, He's got more of a future ahead of him. He's not an injury-prone little bitch. And he could do something amazing. We've seen in his career, maybe not for the last while, that he's been at Everton, but we have seen moments in his career where you thought he was going to be the next best thing since sliced bread, So, yeah, I totally agree with you there. I'd take Ross Barkley on the plane.
Wilshere over Barkley, says
Priyesh Patel.
I agree with you, Priyesh, all day long, yeah. So there's a lot of opinions out there, let's be honest. We're not all going to agree on the team, bottom line.
No. That's right.
And that's the beauty of
Mr. Zinn with the comment, damn pig is such a Wilshere hater. Well, no, listen, it does sound like I'm being very negative towards him. I like certain things about his game. As I say, the fire in his belly, the passion, I love all that. Great technician, passer of the ball. But I think he's too injury prone, and also I don't think he's a very consummate professional. I think there's much more committed players out there. And the reason I say that, I smoke, I drink, I'm supposed to stop, I can't because, all that sort of thing. But he is a professional footballer. That's his living. That he gets paid very well to do that. But he's still out partying. He's still out partying. He's still He's still out smoking cigarettes, having a ciggy in the freaking changing room. He's out there partying. He's out there breaking shin bones because he's too freaking brittle. What are you doing, Jack Wilshere? Sort it out, pal.
Raheem Sterling did gas. Do you know what I mean?
What kind of gas?
These young players, they do silly things, don't
they? Bit of gas, mate.
Bit of nitroglycerin or whatever the fuck it's called.
That's not gas, is it? That's like TNT or something,
Not nitroglycerin, whatever it is.
Nitrous oxide.
Nitrous oxide, that's what I'm trying to say.
Laughing gas, which I think you've been on, mate, because you're a freaking laughing stock, pal! Oh, awesome, yeah. But, yeah, you know, it is what it is. We'll see what Gareth Southgate decides to do. I still struggle with the fact that he is, you know, he is England's manager. I can't believe that he is England's manager. It's such a shame that whole Sam Allardyce thing happened, because I would be feeling a lot more confident going into the World Cup with Sam Allardyce as manager. No nonsense sort of chap, you know, great motivator. He could get the best out of the team, whereas Gareth Southgate, I mean, if I'm listening to Gareth Southgate's team talk at half-time or before the game, I'm freaking switching off, mate. I'm switching off. That guy is mundane. You know, he's mundane. Plus, it's like, what experience are you drawing from here? Hey, Gareth, what have you won in management? How many teams have you saved from relegation? Oh, no, wait. You were Middlesbrough manager when they had shitloads of money as well, and you got them fucking relegated, didn't you, pal? Oh, nice one, yeah. Oh, what? England under fucking 21s or whatever you've been doing behind the scenes? Bollocks. You have got no real management experience.
I reckon he should go and not marry the women's. Manage the women's, and we should get Phil Neville into the men's job.
Oh no, see,
because Phil Neville's obviously not suited from what he's been spouting. That I disagree with that. Everyone makes mistakes. Good luck to Phil Neville, but that would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? If Phil Neville, you know, is Southgate. The trouble for me is, I'd look at Phil Neville being manager as would be able to do just as good a job as Southgate. In a way, I just don't see Southgate as being particularly good. Maybe that's harsh.
Even as a player,
does have much more managerial experience than Phil Neville.
He does, but it's not a great level of experience, you know. Sam Allardyce is much better anyway, and he just does. It's like Roy Hodgson had way more experience than him. So what's Southgate going to do? I mean, maybe a fresh approach would do England good. We've not managed to do it with other experienced managers in charge. Don't want another foreign manager like Sven. I just don't want to see. I want to see an English manager manage England. That's just how it should be, in my opinion. So I like that, but he's such a melter, isn't he? We've got another comment here. Mourinho for England from Henry Webb. Thank you for your comment, Henry. Just want to say, shit name you've got there, pal. But thank you very much for the comment.
As well as like that referee, isn't it?
Howard.
Old Howard.
Old Howard. He was a great ref.
Same initials, isn't it? Emery and Howard.
He's a great ref. But yeah, no.
Ex-copper,
he would never manage England. I think it would be. I wouldn't really want him to manage in England as well. I know his style of management would probably be very good for England, probably get the very best out of us, because England have always defended really well at tournaments. Obviously not the last one, but before that, we historically known for having great defenders. John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, you know, that was a great sort of pairing we had there. Unbelievable players, both individually for their teams and also for England, put their heart on the line, you know, heart on the sleeve, put the body on the line. Great players, and we've always defended really well. I think Jose would be able to do it, but no, he's not going to do that, is he?
Alk Mahmoud says Idris Elba for manager. I can see that.
He's going to be the first black James Bond. What are you talking about?
I reckon Howard Webb. You know, I mean, that would be epic, wouldn't it? I don't think it would be allowed.
Oh, what's this? Don't tell me.
Get all the
oh, no. Hang on. We've got a filthy Man City fan commenting. How's it going? Viva Somalia. No, fair enough. You know, you can't be perfect. He says Pep Guardiola for England. Well, you know, if we could get
I still think old Harry Redknapp. I do.
I do too. That's saying something. But no, Pep, it's like he's used to having these quality players. He wouldn't know what the fuck to do if he got the England job. He'd be like, what do I do with these melts? They can't pass it around like I like. They can't pass around play the football I like. He wouldn't know. Back our shit. Sorry, guys. Something cut off there. I got a WhatsApp call in from my brother over in the States there, mugging me off on this video. What are you doing, Tom? He's probably watching this, probably done it on purpose.
Massively unprofessional. But I think, right, okay, so what about a smaller country? Maybe not the size of England, but if there was a country out there that actually did something brand new, like instead of having a football manager, just having it like fan-based managed. Like it could be like me and you.
That'd be amazing.
Like the manager of Scandinavia. Is that a place? Right? There's just a made somewhere up.
It's not a country.
It's Scandinavia, okay? And the pig and the hen have got the job. You know.
Why two of us? That's not good, mate.
I'd manager and assistant.
No, I'd have to be the manager and you're the assistant, mate. I'm the manager and you're the T-boy, mate. Let's get this clear, okay? No, I'd love to do that. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Maybe we
just as like an experiment. You know, to see if players could actually play under a completely new, different regime, a modern regime where fans manage to put the team. It's kind of like, right, so the fans, like you guys, interact with us, and then we tell the players. It's just like, Lukaku, you are shit. You are a flat track bully. I'm telling him, Rinkon, Gunshi, whatever you got to say, I'm telling him straight to their face. You know, that could be
Look at that, my brother in the house. How's it going, Tom? All the way from the States, Pump University. Go check out his channel. He doesn't post anything on there. Try to do the old weightlifting channel, you know, just gave up. You know, now he's doing CrossFit or whatever, you know. Stick to something, bro. But no, he's just phoned me on WhatsApp. He knows he's obviously been watching. You know, he's trying to get on the video. Unfortunately, Tom, I'd love to have you on the show, mate. But you can't just phone. It cuts off the video. I'm going to have to get a proper setup. I'm going to have Skype phone-ins. I'd love to get you on there, mate. I'm going to get you on. You've not been on for a while, have you? But thanks for stopping by. He's coming over in the summer as well. Really looking forward to seeing him again.
So we should have some World Cup specials.
Yeah,
involved.
baby.
That's what we're looking at.
In fact, now you mention it, the World Cup is on when he comes.
There we go. It's going to be epic.
I think so. In June it starts.
It's going to be epic, yeah.
He's coming in June, so that's amazing. We're going to have some World Cup specials on the go with my brother from America. Awesome.
There we go. Shame the United States are not in the World Cup. It is a massive shame because they have been a team that's always been in there, basically, haven't they? Most World Cups. You're used to seeing them. So it'll be a strange. And Italy not in it. Holland not in it. Very strange one.
Yeah, they're actually a really good team, aren't they? They're just as good as England have been over the last few major tournaments, you have to say. Obviously, they're not in it this year. It could have been England. That could have happened to us. But yeah, I mean, last time around, they got further than us in the World Cup. I think the year before that, they did just as well as us in South Africa. They, of course, drew with us, that Clint Dempsey shocker, Rob Green calamity. You know, so they're just, I can't really mock USA football. I mean, obviously their domestic league's nowhere to the standard as England's domestic league, but so much more money, so many more foreigners in the English game that you can't, it's not really fair to compare. But the MLS is always getting stronger, which means their national side's always going to get stronger. And I think you've got to give a lot of respect to a nation who's, you know, it's not even like their first or second or third sport, I don't think. I think it's like their fifth sport, you know, baseball, basketball, football. They're all ahead in terms of national interest. So just the fact that they're at these tournaments, usually anyway, playing good football, winning games, scoring goals, producing talents like Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, Tim Howard, goalkeepers, Bradford, all these people is quite. I think they're good. I think they're only going to get better. It wouldn't surprise me if in the next 20 years they win the World Cup.
Nah, that's not going to happen. I don't see that happening. Look at the Chinese Super League. Look at all the great players that are going over there.
Chinese Super League. Come on, that's just a money.
They're not going to win the World Cup, are they?
No, they're not. But that's different. That's just like a money league where they're just paying like Denver Bar 600k. It's just madness, you know. What are they even doing that for?
But they got Chinese players basically playing with these, you know, money grabbing superstars, haven't they?
Richard James, Piggy looks like Amos from Emmerdale Farm. Fuck off, mate. I don't even know who that is.
You remind me of Ricky Tan from
Rush Hour.
From Rush Hour.
Ricky Tan.
That's a bit more of a compliment. Is that Jackie Chan then?
I don't think it is, mate.
Who is that?
I don't think it is. Isn't it the little, like, the Asian baddie? I think it's the Asian baddie, mate.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. So, anyway, I think maybe we should wrap it up there. I haven't realised we've been going for 71 minutes here.
I'm starting to struggle here. You know, we got no commercial breaks, nothing. No, you know, no kind of little, let's go to the video clip. Do you know what I mean? We have to be live in front of you for this much time.
My brother from America says, the coaching system here over in America is superior to that of England. USA will win the World Cup one day. You know, my brother's actually a football coach over in America. He knows his stuff. And yeah, they do have a much better system. And just look at like their collegiate system, their youth system. It's like these lads are playing in front of like 10,000 people, 20,000 people while they're in college. A great atmosphere to come out. The facilities are amazing. The money in sport over there is amazing in terms of the collegiate system and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think they will produce. Plus, the population of America is quite on the large side, isn't it? So they've got more numbers coming through. I think it's the most popular sport for people to actually play, not spectator sport, but for a certain age group. I think for the younger generation, soccer is the most played sport in America, certainly for females anyway. Female soccer in America is huge. And obviously male soccer's coming on more and more. So,
might have to catch a plane.
Yeah. That's it, yeah. Well,
that sounds like my sort of thing, yeah. Huge, female, soccer. Those are the kind of things that I'm into.
Huge?
You know?
You're talking about like huge dongs? Right, anyway, let's wrap it up there. But thank you to everybody, every single one of you guys watching the Pig and the Hen show live on YouTube right now. Thank you so much for getting involved with the comments, super chats, you know, interacting with the channel. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and allowing us to actually have this platform to just talk cod shit for a while. So thank you so much for doing all that. Do me a favour right now, please. Chuck a like on this video. And we'll be doing another Pigcast podcast on Wednesday night. Maybe one between now and then, but we shall see. And I believe that is for the big game United versus Spurs at Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is for the big game. So the next Pigcast podcast on a Wednesday night is going to be a very special one. We're going to be fired right up. There's going to be some fireworks. I'll tell you. Come on, United. Got to batter those. I was going to say Yids then, but that's racist. And you can't say that if you're not a Spurs fan. If you're a Spurs fan, you can say that. Or if you're Jewish. But if I just said that, I already sort of have said it. You know, let's just backtrack.
Backtrack. I just wanted to say, completely off topic there, but another passing. I think it was an English squad player. He didn't actually play in the World Cup final, but he was in the squad. Is it Armstrong? I was past his back because I'm rubbish with.
Sorry, mate. What are we talking about here, mate?
I am rubbish with old school football. That's my weakness in football knowledge. So anything sort of before, like
2008,
2000s, I don't really have a clue. But yeah, rest in peace. We lost a
Jimmy Armfeld.
Jimmy Armfeld. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a legend. Yeah, so you said Chris Armstrong.
I was thinking Armstrong. I was remembering the arm part of the surname.
But yeah, Jimmy Armfeld. Rest in peace. 82 years of age. I think at least he got to that. It's a great old age, and he had a great career. Considered a legend of the game. So yeah, 100% fair play for respecting the passing of a legend there. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud and also the iTunes podcast app. Give it a search, Pig and the Hen Show or Pigcast Podcast, and it'll pop up. Subscribe over there. Please leave a 5-star rating as well if you can over on that platform. That'd be amazing. You can follow us on social media, Henry_Hotspur on Twitter. I am Mr. Flying Pig HD on all platforms, so give it a search, follow Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're going to start ramping up this show a bit now. We're going to improve the quality. We're going to have people Skyping in. We're going to have... I want you guys to actually use a hashtag as well. Let's come up with a hashtag, because I want to be able to have... It's great interacting with you guys when you're putting the questions on him, but we do miss some of them. And if you guys want to have your questions answered, please use the hashtag Pig and the Hen. Tweet me on Twitter with any sort of question for me or Henry.
Is that an and sign or is
hashtag,
that spelled out?
Hashtag Pig and the Hen. Spelled out. There you go. Alex
Pigand.
Pig and Hen, not Pig and the Hen, actually, although I probably will search for that
as well.
It's getting confusing. Let's use Alex Rinko's hashtag that he said, Pig and Hen. So Pig and Hen.
Okay,
that's what you've got to use. Use the hashtag Pig and Hen. Send us some questions. So for the next Pigcast podcast, sorry, Pig and the Hen Show. I keep calling it Pigcast, mate. Old habits die hard. But for the next Pig and the Hen Show...
Pigeon cast.
For the next one, we'll be able to just run through a list of tweeted questions at us. So please do that. Tweet us at Mr. Flying Pig HD using the hashtag Pig and Hen.
There we go.
Anyway, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourselves a good one. We'll see you very soon. You've been watching The Pig. And...
Bug the Hen. I thought we stopped doing that.
We did stop doing it. I thought I'd bring it back.
Why are we doing that? Let's forget about that, right? Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United. This time, maybe just a little bit less than this time next week, but by a couple of hours or so, is going to be the big game. It's going to be the Pig and the Hen, and you're going to love it.
That's correct, my friends. So, see, one thing you get from the Pig and the Hen Show, you don't necessarily get from other podcasts on YouTube. Some do live shows, don't they? But we do live shows, and it's just us in front of the camera. We've got nothing pre-arranged, We just chat. And we've got a relationship going back 15 years. It sounds a bit odd when I say that, but we've got a friendship going back all these years. So we've got this, I'd say chemistry, right? And we're able to just chat. We're able to just chat shit to you guys for 77 minutes, yeah. And we're able to do that. All right, calm down, mate. Go and freaking pull yourself off, you goon. You freaking Spurs mug. Spurs are a bunch of mugs, aren't they? We do the old Leeds badge. Give it up the Leeds badge tonight, lads. Leeds badge. What a shit badge, though. Years and years of design. Years and years of money spent on coming up with a new design. Guess what? Your old one's 10 times better. Your new one's laughable. Nice one, Leeds. You made yourself even more of a shit club. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Pig and the Hen on the Pig and the Hen Show. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you very soon. Come on, United.
See ya.